Good morning, everyone. Dave Bush here with Kansas Sports HQ, episode 52. We have Colorado Rockies pitching prospect Braxton Hyde with us. He's in studio today, and, yesterday he stopped by, said hello with the Kansas Curve, had a little workout, and, we're lucky enough to have him on today. But first, Sheldon Howell, how are you today?
Top of the morning, everyone. Doing great.
And Braxton, how are you?
I'm good this morning.
Did you get your good workout in, and you searching out venues for your wedding, all that good stuff?
Yep. Searching another one tomorrow when my fiance gets back tonight. So,
oh boy,
congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's always a fun process, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Getting some influence in there on where you're going to tie the knot.
Oh boy.
Where's your fiance from?
She is from Portland, Oregon, Beaverton, Oregon, to be more specific.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. When did you guys meet?
We met about a year and a half ago in Spokane up there when I was playing. Yeah.
Ah, nice. Sweet. That'll be cool. Are you guys thinking you're going to get married here in the Wichita area?
Be here in the Wichita area. Yeah.
Nice. Good deal, man. Well, congrats.
Thank you.
So we have you on here. Our third guy, Sean Cutler, is away. It's different. Wish he could be here. But our main focus here is to learn more about you and promote the people who have come from our area, you know, and so tell us about that lifestyle in good old liberal Kansas. Build us up into your dream of getting drafted, man. I mean, tell us everything about you.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing three sports. I played three sports all growing up through high school: football, basketball, baseball. I was a COVID kid too, so I didn't have a senior year for baseball. Played a lot of golf, hung out a lot. Not a lot of restrictions where I came from in Liberal, just because there's not as many people there. So we played golf, we'd throw, we'd lift, and that was our schedules most of the time there. And then Butler came into my life my junior summer, and the assistant coach who was there at the time followed myself and Isaac Tiger around the entire summer until both of us committed. So that's kind of how Butler came in, and just Butler was the place for me.
I love that. I played at Butler myself, so got a little familiarity out there. They got some changes going on.
They got some
right
changes
now.
going on.
Yeah.
So
Seth Wheeler.
interesting stuff going on. Yeah.
Seth Wheeler getting the head coaching job out there, which is awesome. I played with Seth.
Okay.
So Seth was the catcher when I was there.
Okay.
And he's had a nice little, I think, coaching carousel for him. I mean, being at Emporia at Hutch, now going back to Butler where he played. I think that's kind of cool. So I'm excited to chat with him. I shot him a message yesterday, but I'm gonna reach out to him and go meet up with him.
Yeah.
But that'll be fun. Tell us, so in Liberal, obviously, growing up in Liberal, your family rooted there. That's where born and raised.
That's where I was born and raised. My family and most of my entire family is from Texhoma, Oklahoma, which is about an hour away.
Yep.
So they grew up there, and then my parents got jobs when they were 21 in Liberal, and they got married and moved over there.
And just been there.
And been there since. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I think that's always kind of cool. It's a cool piece of your story for sure, just because, kids that listen, they think, out there, Liberal's kind of in the middle of nowhere. So,
absolutely.
Kids listening into that thinking like, oh, how does a guy, out there where there isn't that many eyes, have the opportunity to continue to play and play at the level that you're playing at. So speak on that a little bit. Talk about, as you were there playing, kind of coming up, what was some of the things that you were doing to help yourself kind of stand out a little bit, and just kind of, get on the track that you're, on currently?
I think it really started with coming into Wichita to play for Baca and the Curve. I started playing my sophomore summer. I wanted to get out of town and just experience traveling a little bit more with my parents and going out there, meeting new guys, competition, everything like that. And it was super fun. I played for the Curve for 3 summers. A lot of great competition, great places we played. And I think just getting out of town for me was a big thing. I grew up there my entire life, and then I wanted to go to Butler, and I think that really helped as well. Kind of just getting out of my comfort zone and going somewhere that was a little farther from home, where you couldn't travel home for a 1-day trip, and when you wanted to. And
I mean, you could, but
pain in the butt,
frowned upon.
So, my freshman year, I went home quite a bit, just because COVID. We would have canceled practice and stuff like that. Sophomore year, I had a house with 2 other guys, and I think we just hung out all the time.
Yeah.
And I went home for a couple occasions, but I think just being out of my comfort zone and being with guys around me who wanted to do the same thing as me helped a lot.
Gotcha. So BJ, was he still the head coach when you
Yes,
were there?
BJ was the head coach for 2 years.
Okay,
Yes,
gotcha.
when I was there. Yeah, both my years.
So BJ was my assistant coach when I
Okay.
played at Butler.
Okay.
Yeah. So small world. But
Yeah.
he's doing well. I talked to him yesterday.
Yeah,
too,
I talked
just
to him a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's doing well. He's got a job here in Wichita now. I think he misses coaching a little bit.
Oh, he does.
But he won't admit it.
He doesn't want to admit it,
No.
but he does for
Yeah.
sure. He bleeds the game.
Yes, he does.
Well, that's awesome. Well, so going into, Butler, obviously, playing ball around Liberal and then jumping to the curve that's a little bit of a jump.
Yes, it
right?
was. Yeah.
Baca's done a great job from the inception of
Yeah.
the organization of going out there and finding quality baseball players, but then also like really breeding competition. Like that's
Yes.
always kind of been his big thing. And Baca and I get along so well because we look at the game kind of the same way. Like
Yeah.
our approach towards it is very, very similar. And he wants his guys to have the opportunity to keep
Yes.
growing, like
Yeah.
keep getting the chance to get out there. So, you make that jump going from that into college. What were some of the differences that you felt there?
I mean, it's like the same thing you say from the jump from college to pro. Like every hitter, the 1 through 9 hitter is a 1 through 4 hitter a lot
Right.
of the times. In summer ball, then sometimes when you play the same team twice, you're getting new kids all the time. College ball is you're facing the same dudes if you're a starter every time, and those dudes they're hitters. They're not PO. They're not two ways.
Right.
They just hit.
Yep.
And I think that was a big jump for me. Is I had to be able to realize that and not work around hitters and stuff like that, and able to attack hitters every single time
For sure.
and have my stuff in the zone and be able to trust it as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys know anything about the Jayhawk is full of hitters.
Yep, full of hitters.
It is a hitting conference, to say the least. Pitching is up and down throughout the conference. I think that's kind of a common thing just about everywhere, to be quite honest. Pitching is definitely an art form that is taking some hits in certain areas. And so I want to pick your brain on that a little bit, on some of the stuff that you've done. Like when you were at Butler, were you more focused on, like what was your approach to getting better on the mound, right? Were you worried, was it more weight room driven? Was it more throwing more? Was it more in-game situational stuff? Like what really, where was that like aha moment where it was like, okay, now I understand this. Now I'm going here.
Mine was the weight room. I was weight room driven.
Yeah.
In high school, I really wasn't. I mean, I didn't really buy in. Like, I can admit that.
Yeah.
And when I got to college, I knew that if I wanted to be like guys who wanted to play and wanted to play at the next level, I had to get in the gym.
Yeah.
And I had a couple buddies. One of them was my roommate, and we'd go to the gym every single night, and we got on a really good routine. And I think that progressed as well, and it played into a part of my pitching. It increased velocity, my mobility, everything like that. And I learned the game really well my 2 years there. There's a ton that goes into it that a lot of people don't realize and think about. But weight room was mine, and I enjoy the gym, and I love the gym.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because trust me, I talk to kids all the time. I talk to kids literally for a living. And, when we're having conversations with them, there's all these programs that are out there now, which I don't know if you did any of those, like Driveline and Tread and, all those things.
I don't do them. I know a lot of my buddies in the organization do them,
Yeah.
And it's really helped them as well.
Yeah.
I've just never gotten into it as
No.
much. Yeah.
Well, I'll explain where I'm going with that, I guess. Like for me, I'm not against those programs,
No.
right? Like I think that those programs have purpose, and I think that there's pieces to those programs that are really good things, like the knowledge base with them and what they do. But I also know that those programs were designed and they originally are founded to help players like you, right? Guys that are in the system, guys that are higher level prospects, guys that are trying to really fine tune small little things that are going to make big differences, right? Because for you, which we'll talk about, I'm sure, but every little bit makes a difference.
Yes.
And you're at a point where the consistency in your game, that's just it. It sounds like you're downplaying it, but that's just what's expected, right? That's kind of the norm. Like, and if you're not hitting that, like you ain't going to be in your spot for very long, right? So getting all of these little metrics and little things that are going to make differences is a big deal. Well, what they've done is they've marketized that to where it's now, kind of going down the level into youth sports where they're getting these kids so gun ho and excited about all these little details. And it's like, dude, you can't even hardly do anything consistent. Why do you care about your spin rate right now? Why do you care about this, care about that? And baseball people across the globe, I think, are torn on that subject. Your old heads, which I'm now becoming more of one, they're like, play the game the right way, do the simple stuff, like, that type of mentality, play hard-nosed baseball, know the situations, those kind of things. And then you have all these younger kids that want to put stuff on their social medias and they want to get excited about all that stuff, which I'm not saying it's wrong. It's not a bad thing. It's just more of I think that kids get wrapped in to worrying about stuff that, you're just not at the right time and place to be worrying about it. That's my outlook there. And that's why I wonder because, most of the time we see kids, I'm like, dude, do you lift every day? They're like, well, no. And I'm like, then are you even serious about this? Are you actively, consistently every day staying locked in on trying to achieve the thing that you say you want to be able to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're like, well, and I'm like, what are you doing after school? Oh, well, I'm playing Xbox, I'm doing this and that. And it's just like, the level of serious and dedication that it takes to just play in college is a whole different animal than what people think it is. But then you start talking about where you're at and it's like whole different animal, whole different thing. But yeah, I was just wondering on that. I didn't know. I have a few different guys that I train currently that go to tread, and they do different things with them. And like I said, I've learned a lot about those programs. I think that they're very beneficial for the right person. It just bugs me listening to how the marketing portion of things have kind of taken.
He can rant on this for hours.
I can, yeah.
And
ask a different question.
So I want to talk about small town.
Yep.
Small town baseball. I mean, with you being at Butler and in Liberal, both have colleges there.
Yes.
Both have great summer programs for baseball. I think Liberal has, probably one of the most, I don't know, oldest maybe programs in the country for summer baseball. And we have a team in El Dorado called the Walnuts. They have the Liberal BJs. Tell me about the experience with the youth out there because we have kids wanting to grow up to be El Dorado Walnuts.
Yeah.
Did you grow up wanting to play for the BJs?
I did. Yes. We would host BJs in the summer who lived with us. Really good friends with one of them still. In the summer when I was home throughout the week, I'd go to every single game. It was just one of those things that my friends were going and I'd go as well. And I think the youth still does. I don't think that's changed, especially with young kids. So they got a really good thing going on there, and they just hired a new coach, Caden Trinkle, who played at Oklahoma State. Played for the BJs.
He was a BJ kid.
Played in the.
He was like player of the year.
Yeah,
for
player
them,
of the year.
Yeah.
That COVID summer, he went up unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, he's. I remember him actually because the BJ's played in the league in like 20.
They were here for 2021.
Yeah,
but prior to that,
I think it was 20. Well, they were there. They played in the KCOB, I think, for 2 years.
Yeah.
It was 2 out of maybe it was 3.
My summer, I think we did.
COVID was funky.
Yeah.
Because COVID was the year that we paused for the COVID year. Annoying, but whatever. So when that happened, that was kind of when everything kind of settled after that. And then
because that's when you had the East and West.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we had them. Yeah, and obviously when the KCLB got, we had Hayes, Liberal, and Dodge.
Yeah.
And it was funky, honestly. Like it was just trying to figure out the travel was impossible.
Yeah.
We had like a hybrid schedule that we had to create and like make it all work. But those guys were kind of left on an island. And I just felt like it was the right thing to do. We tried to make something work, but just, budget wise and money wise, it's tough.
It's tough. Very tough.
Because guys in the summer, we do baseball because we love baseball.
Exactly.
Not because these teams are cash flowing like crazy. Now, Liberal been around for 80 years or 70 years or something like that. So, And they have not a perfect system. They have a great system.
Mhm.
You're in a small town with
Mhm.
not a ton
To
going
do.
on,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And I'll be the first to admit it. Liberals they're an organization that we try to copy, right?
Mhm.
Like we try to take that same mentality that they have
Yeah.
with our own kind of spin on it. And that's where we've put all of our teams is in small
Small
towns
towns.
and try to make that exact experience that you guys were just talking about
Yeah.
happen, right?
Yep.
Like we want the kids in these small towns to be able to show up to a game every summer
Yep.
and just hang out and get to meet
Yeah,
guys, have fun.
absolutely.
And so what you went through is exactly what we are trying to emulate as
Yeah.
best as possible. Um, over some time. I mean, our teams are less than, 10, they're less than 10 years old.
Yeah.
They've been around
Got
for
one creeping up.
Yep.
decades on decades on
Yeah.
decades. So,
Yeah.
got some time there. But tell us a little bit about that. Tell us about the experience growing as a kid, like showing up to the
Yeah.
games. What were some of the memories that you fondly remember about going? Because I can tell you mine all day, like going
Yeah.
to when my uncle used to coach El Dorado, so I would go out and like be the bat boy and like
Yeah.
do all that stuff. Like, and I can remember that stuff. Like, and that's how I fell in love with baseball. That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons I fell in love. So, what were some of those memories for you?
Bat boy was a couple things. I
Yeah.
mean, most of the time do the bat boy. You'd wait for foul balls. You go grab foul balls all the time, and then you start playing catch with them until one of you throws it over the fence or something like that.
Yep.
And a lot of wall ball.
Yeah.
When you get
That was a
kids,
big time.
yeah,
thing.
when we get a lot of guys there, we just play wall ball all game in between innings, and
Yeah.
a lot of fun. I mean,
Were you hucking low 90s back then? Or?
I don't know about that. Maybe if that's what it translated out to when you're 10 feet away, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Leaving welts on his.
yeah.
I can't walk.
But yeah, no, a lot of fun growing
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So again, going from that and the childhood side, going to college at Butler, how was that? How was that experience with that community? We have a great community presence in El Dorado with the Walnuts and stuff like that. But we don't often talk about that community presence when you're in college because you're so focused on your athletics, your academics and stuff like that. But what was that experience like there? Because that's an awesome stadium.
Yes.
That is a great community that
Yep.
supports baseball.
Yeah.
What was your experience like with the community there?
It was a little different for COVID, especially the first year, because there was a lot of stuff that was minimum capacity for stuff. Class and everything, community wise, was great. Basketball games is where you see a lot in football. I mean, both of those sides, everybody shows up for that. I mean, the power plant is an amazing atmosphere. Football's amazing. You have baseball does ball boys and stuff like that. So you're on the sidelines and everything. Baseball wise, though, the community was amazing, especially with the kids' schools. They would come out, and on weekday games on Tuesdays, you have a 1:00 game. They all show up and they cheer. I mean, the whole stadium's full. But the community wise, I thought it was really great. You go anywhere in town, you're going out to eat, you go into the store, like they ask you how you're doing and everything like that. So
For sure.
I couldn't be more thankful for that as well.
Yeah.
The other side of this is that many of these places and players don't actually get to experience that type of, I don't know, fandom showing up for you.
Yeah.
You could go play somewhere else and 11 people show up.
Yep.
When you were traveling with Butler or with the BJs, I'm sure you've seen all of those things. So you've experienced something that many people don't get to, like, hey man, there's 500 people in the stands at McDonald's Stadium. It looks packed. It feels packed. It's loud. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm sure at BJ games there were plenty of people there.
Plenty of people there as well.
It's almost like the Friday Night Lights of summer.
Yes.
Everybody shows up and they're rooting for you.
Yes.
So and then now you get drafted. What was it like getting that call?
It was pretty cool. I mean, leading up to it is a lot of anxiousness. I mean, it was one of those things where I was going to go to Oral Roberts. That's where I was committed. So I was planning on going to school there. And then July kind of hit and you're getting these calls and these texts. And it's like, well, maybe this could actually happen. Because in the spring, I mean, it happened towards the end of the spring in April. Played Colby, and there was a kid from Colby who was 95, 98, Alex Cook. Ended up getting drafted in the 12th round by the Rays, I think 12th round, maybe 11th, somewhere around there. But they came to watch him at Butler that day, and it was me versus him. And I was able to perform well enough to get a couple calls and a couple texts after that. So sometimes it's not people coming to watch you.
Oh, yeah.
It's people watching other guys.
For sure.
Yeah.
And if you perform and just do what you do without worrying about what else is going on, it could really work out in your favor.
You guys
And it
win
did
that game?
So We didn't. We lost 2-1.
Dang,
2-1 in the 7th.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you did your job.
Yeah, and everybody did. I mean, that was a great game. It was an amazing game,
No,
2-1.
1-run ball game. Hell
And
yeah.
the crazy thing about that is we were the away team because we couldn't go out to Cole because of the wind. So they came out to us.
Oh
So
wow.
the first 2 games on that Thursday, we were the away team. So I pitched at home as the away team. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So
that's funky.
So talk about that process, because you said, lots of text messages, lots of phone calls. What does that feel like? You said anxiousness, but like, what are those messages saying? Like, let's just say there's a kid out there who feels like he's on the draft board, and we all know that's coming up. I mean, it's not really coming up, but
Yeah, absolutely.
it's in 2026. It's going to be here sooner than later. And whoever wants to listen to this, and whoever does, thank you. We want to help prepare athletes and kids, because your regimen changed as you went from high school ball to playing for the curve, for playing for the curve to Butler, from Butler now to
the pros.
pros. And walk us through that process.
The
Because,
first message, like
what was the
what's
first
that like
message?
getting that? Yeah.
The first, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It seems surreal because it's like,
Thank God we don't have spam filters for that back then, because now.
It actually came. Well, it didn't come from McVay, but after that game, he knew a lot of the scouts because that area scouts just that area. And he came up to me and he was like, "I think you put yourself out there." I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? I got no clue.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? Like, I committed to Oral Roberts in the fall of November of 21, and I was just set on going to college.
Yeah.
That was my plan. And I'd never really thought about getting drafted was an option after 2 years at Butler. I thought I'd have to go and have another year to get even better. And he just comes up to me and he's like, "I think you put yourself out there. You did well enough today to do that." I was like, "Well, sweet." So I think the first text was from the Phillies guy. And I think he just said, "Hey, would love to hop on a phone call sometime, just talk about some stuff and see where your head's at." And then after that, it was kind of like, okay. And then a lot of teams, sometimes they don't contact you directly. They'll send you like questionnaires. You have like a portal that you can create, and they send you questionnaires with like 100 to 120 questions. And you just answer those questions. And then some will call you. I did a couple FaceTimes with the Phillies and the Cardinals. And then with the Rockies, I had multiple phone calls with that guy. So it's awesome to look back and think about now that it actually did happen.
Yeah. Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Man, I can only imagine, because I go to Wind Surge games from time to time and just talk crap to the scouts, and then hand them my business card and tell them I'm going to give them a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Come check my guys out,
Yeah.
But to hear that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Like, and then you have to get your mental ready.
Yes.
For all of that.
For all of it. It's a quick turnaround. I mean, I got drafted on a Tuesday and was in Scottsdale by Sunday. So, and then I spent 3 months there in mini camp and extended camp and stuff like that. Yeah.
So what's the culture like in that? I mean, you've been in several dugouts with different cultures, and the culture that says, "Hey, you're a pro now."
Yeah.
What's that like for you?
Everybody is themselves. I mean, everybody has one goal. You all have the same goal. So going to practice every day, going to games every day, and having the same goal as the guy next to you is really nice. And you push each other every day. And I think winning does matter in minor league baseball. When we were in my first year in Fresno, we missed out on one game to go to the playoffs. Like, you want to win. Like, you're there and you might as well win.
Yeah.
And then in Spokane, we had an amazing year. Ended up winning the championship there against Vancouver in a 5-game set. And it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, to be able to experience that as a player, even though it's not a World Series or something like that.
Sure.
When you win it in minor league baseball against other guys who are also competing for the same goal, it's super cool and it was super fun.
Well, the game doesn't change.
No, it doesn't. And
baseball is still every time you step across the line, you want to not only showcase yourself, but the sense of playing for your team.
Yeah.
You may not know every guy on the field. I
Mhm.
think that's the part of minor league ball that gets overlooked quite a bit, is like there's a lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts.
Like a lot of moving parts. And, everybody that grows up playing ball, it's like, well, I know every single guy on my team.
Yep.
I know their families. I know who they are. I know,
Yeah.
Maybe not every little detail, but you know enough about everybody
Mhm.
out there to where you're buddies, And then sometimes you may step on the mound and your whole entire outfield might
Yeah.
be different that day.
Mhm.
And you're
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know what that dude does. That dude does. But you have the solace, I think, of, well, everybody out here is at the level that we're
Mhm.
at for a reason.
Yes.
And, everybody's kind of, like you say,
Yeah.
competing for the same thing.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the level of play is just, it's astronomical. Like, it's
Yes.
just, and that's the biggest thing there that, kids that are out there that might be listening, like,
Mhm.
speak on that a little bit. Talk about, what you see when you go into this, your first rookie mini camp,
Mhm.
right? Like, you show up there, like, what's the level of player that you're surrounded with?
High level D1 guys who have been at the D1 level.
Yep.
I'm trying to think. I might have been the only JUCO. I can't remember if there's any more JUCO guys in my class. There's a lot of D1 guys, and you just show up. And there was a high school kid in our draft as well.
Oh, wow.
Who I'm really good friends with, really good guy. Everybody, when you show up there, you just know you're there for the same reason.
Mhm.
And that's what's nice, is it doesn't matter where you come from.
Right.
Baseball is baseball.
Yep.
And it's like the other day when I was in here with Baca's guys, it's like guys are talking about schools and everything. I was like, if you go somewhere, somebody's going to find you, and that's what I think is huge for a lot of programs, is that if you show up and you do your work and you perform, it's going to work out. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Did you, when you were in high school, were you sought out, or did you create yourself, a recruiting profile and push that out there, or was it just the connections between your high school coaches and different colleges? I mean, that's always something we talk about, because
Yeah.
sometimes those recruiting things are cool just to get your name
Yeah.
out there, but then if you don't pay for it, nothing happens, and so on and so forth.
I got sat out by the curve by Baca and Evan Smith
Mhm.
were the two who coached me my first summer. And I had a buddy who played in Dodge City, Noah Sowers. He was on the team in the fall, and Baca was kind of asking about dudes. They needed dudes for the summer. And I didn't even know Noah that well. And he said something to them about me. And then I get a text one day, and it's like, hey, this is Evan Smith, Jacob Baca with the Kansas Curve. Would love to have you and love to talk on the phone. So I didn't really put myself out there. I was just going to play at home in the summer. I was going to play for the Liberal Rattlers, how I grew up playing with.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made the decision to come to Wichita and play, because I thought, if I do this now as a sophomore, what could that lead up to 2 to 3 years down the road? And it really worked out for the best.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
Had a gut
Wow.
feeling
Yeah,
there, and
it's
that
just
one worked out. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
So going back to your rookie mini camp, and
Mhm.
you're there, another thing that I think people think that you just show up and like practice like normal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's different, because you guys have a lot of meeting structures.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot of like behind the scenes work
Mhm.
that most people, I think sports wise, like at least from the kids that I talk to, like everybody knows like football does a lot of meetings, right?
Yes.
Like everybody gets that, but
Yeah.
baseball does a lot of meetings.
We do a lot
too.
of meetings as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to speak on that a little bit, because I think that the common high school baseball player, especially most colleges too, there's not a lot of the behind the scenes work in comparison to like what it looks like in
Yeah.
minor league ball, right? So speak on that a little bit. Walk me through, what's kind of those first couple of weeks look like, the
Mhm.
first few day-to-days, like, what's the transition, and then where's your kind of mindset at during that? Like, oh, okay, like
Yeah.
now I'm at a job,
Yeah,
like this is a
so-
real job.
The first week we were there, it was a lot of meetings. I mean, you're out on the field, you play catch, you do PFPs, stuff like that. And then after that, you would have meetings before that, and then you'd have meetings after. It's learning the culture, and it's learning what the Rockies organization does on a daily basis to get better and just be a part about the game and what they do. And I really enjoyed it, because I was there, and
Mhm.
I really enjoyed it and learning about everything. I got notebooks full of stuff that I go back and look at quite a bit.
Yeah.
So,
What were some of those things that they talked about? Like what's kind of
can
their
you
culture?
talk about it?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just being there for the guy next to you is one of the big things, and learning how to play the game with class, I think, is a big thing. And they really care about winning at every single level. And I think a lot of the guys care about that as well. So it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
We had 3 teams make the playoffs last year,
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
our Spokane team won it. And I just think that speaks a lot. And then a lot of guys from that team last year debuted this year with the Rockies.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah.
So do you ever, in that process, obviously things can change at the drop of a hat, right?
Yes.
Like you get a call today that they're sending you somewhere else, you
Yeah.
know? Do you think about that much?
I try not to.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of moving parts in baseball.
For sure.
And I think there's so many guys. You have 132 guys
Wow.
in a
Right.
try to think of the word here.
In their system.
In the system.
Yeah.
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 And I think if I worried about that too much, I think it consumed me a little bit.
Sure.
And I try not to worry about that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I'm a numbers person, like my brain works that way. But when you think about the amount of baseball teams, and then like you said, there's 130-ish guys, and there's different contracts for different things, but that's such a small number. You know,
It is.
when you think about the amount of baseball players that
Yeah.
are out there, to be able to do what you're doing it's amazing, man. It's awesome.
Well, thank you.
And I commend you on your hard work
Thank you.
because that's the part of it that separates you.
Yeah,
you
nobody
know?
understands that
Yeah.
behind the scenes, every ounce of you is poured into this passion.
Yeah.
And everyone who calls it a job, we look at it as like, dude, I get to play this.
I get to play
game
baseball
every day.
Yep.
I get to help people every day, or I get to be a part of something that's bigger than me every day.
Yeah.
Those are the things that drive that passion, and it's so cool. Like it's awesome that you've been able to climb that ladder, and you're in high A, right?
Yes, correct.
So what is I know what the levels are, right? But
Well, and we know what your goal is too. Like, what's
to get to the show, but
what are some of the next steps?
yeah, how does that look for you through the system? Because I'm wondering if they're, kind of like high school has, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. What is that process for your development? And do they give you a plan to get there?
I think it starts with you got to go every day and you got to want to be there. And I think doing your stuff every day, even if you're not going to throw that day, if you're not going to play that day, just going in and doing your stuff for 45 minutes to an hour, just getting your work in, I think is huge. A lot of guys that we do player plans and everything like that, and what we want to work on in the weight room, mental side of it, and the baseball side of it. So I think that's really good to have, and everybody else is different, which is nice. Nobody else, or you don't have two guys doing the same thing.
Right.
Everybody's doing something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. You mentioned the mental side. I know that's become such a big time thing, especially pitching.
Yes.
Because pitching is a different animal up there. It's way harder to move past some of the little things while you're on the mound. And a lot of the stuff's out of your control as well too. So you have to be mentally sound of being able to just get to the next pitch.
Yes.
Get to the next piece of what you're doing. Have you had any types of struggles with that, or have you had any types of, just things that set you back that you were able to overcome, right? Like, tell us some of the adversity that maybe you've dealt with on the mound that has helped you now where you are.
Yeah. My first year in Fresno started out really well and then kind of hit a little downfall a little bit, and I was able to overcome that towards the end of the season. I had a really good first year in Spokane, I thought. Went through a little bit of adversity as well. And then this past year was a little more adversity.
Yeah.
More than to have.
Yeah.
And, but that's part of this game.
Amen.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's going to happen. And the way that I thought I bounced back well enough to be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
I was a reliever for the first half of the season, and then I started 12 games.
Oh, dang.
And then went back to the bullpen as well, and then started the last couple games. So it was a little bit of moving pieces as well, and my schedule would change here and there, but I was able to adjust to it. And I think that's one thing that is big is you have to be able to adjust because, like you said, moving pieces all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a ton of moving pieces in Spokane this year, pitching side, hitting side, everything like that. Yeah.
Well, it's awesome that you're the hardest part, I think, for people to grasp is as much as you are in control of your day-to-day stuff, there's so many things that are out of your control.
Yes.
And that's, in my opinion, that's where the mental side of the game gets so friggin' hard.
Yeah.
Like that's where it's just like you can be, on a Monday, you're locked in for the week at this. And then Monday night, they tell you it's going to be something different. And you're like, well, okay, there went that entire preparation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you've been locked in on that. And now you got to switch it up. And then you have to go back out there. And then, oh, wait a minute, I'm pitching against dudes that are wanting to rip my face off every at bat,
Yeah.
So it's just baseball is it's a beautiful sport because of how mentally locked in you have to be
Mm.
every single pitch, every single day, I mean, it's just it's so hard to be able to just put it into simple words for
Mhm.
people to
Yeah,
understand it,
absolutely.
you know? But that's why we love it. That's why it's exciting. It's fun to watch that happen. Tell us a little bit about being up in Spokane. Like, what did you enjoy it up there? Like, did you enjoy living there? Or let me rephrase question. What's been like your most favorite place to be at if it wasn't Spokane?
I would say probably Spokane.
Yeah?
I do enjoy that place. It's super nice. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It doesn't get hot till end of July.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, I like it now too.
yeah, this summer was a little different. It got a little hotter a little sooner. But
Yeah.
last year, like we were wearing jackets till the middle of July.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it'd be 55 during the day and it dropped down a little bit.
You wear a jacket at 55?
Up there, you do.
Up there,
to stay
yeah.
warm in the
Oh,
bullpen,
heck
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
Here I don't. Yeah.
Air's a little thinner up there.
But I think I've enjoyed Spokane a lot. Scottsdale, you obviously can't beat Scottsdale during
Yeah,
spring
sure.
training. I also think I'm more towards Spokane as well because that's where I met my fiance.
Of course.
So
Shout
I
out to
think
the fiance.
I think that's a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit like that too. But I think Spokane's a great area.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got what you need and everything like that. So
I love it.
yeah,
I mean, it's a relatively big place,
it's pretty
right?
big. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I want to talk about some of the stuff that MLB is trying to implement in the minor league system.
Mhm.
I don't
Robots.
know the robot type umpire
Yeah.
system and whatnot. Have you had any experience with that?
We have not. No.
Okay.
So they implemented the automated strike zone, I think, in the Florida Complex League.
Okay.
I think is the only place they've done it. And then they use the challenge system. I can't remember. I think they used it in AAA this year.
Okay.
And then they've used it in the Arizona Fall League the past 2 years.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure where it's going to go. I do think it's going to reach the MLB level at some point for challenging pitches. I think it takes away the uniqueness of the game
For
without umpires because umpires are umpires. They're
Yep.
also people as well.
Yep.
And
Yeah, but everybody wants to blame an umpire.
exactly. But then if you go to the automated strike zone and stuff like that, it's like
On you.
sometimes
It's all you.
Yeah, if it's not touching that little end of the piece, you're not getting it.
Right.
And that's like strike zones are unique too. Every
Yep.
umpire has their own strike zone. So I think, and at this day and age too, is you can pull up reports and everything like that on everybody.
Yep.
So
Yeah, it definitely takes a piece of the game and changes it because it puts it in a box, quite literally.
yeah.
And I don't know. On one hand, in all sports, I want to get it right.
Yeah.
That's, I sit through umpire meetings literally all summer, and my entire conversation every single time is like, guys, put our opinions aside. I just want to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If
Yeah.
I'm wrong, I want to get it right. If
Mhm.
you guys are wrong, you guys should want to get it right.
Yeah.
That's where typically like you start to muddy the waters a little bit with these guys because they don't ever want to be wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So they always think they're right, number one. And it's just it's a humbling piece of saying, hey, like if we get it wrong, it's not the end of the world.
Mhm.
Like, let's just find ways to continually get better,
Mhm.
right? And baseball's a game of failure as it
Mhm.
is. So it's just, they I don't know. I'm still torn on the whole concept because like you said, you can pull up reports on every umpire. You can figure out, what their tendencies lead to. In my brain, it's like, well, yeah, that's like scouting.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I want to understand what this hitter does consistently. What are his pros? What are his strengths? What are, the things that he's not going to do well, his weaknesses, right? Like how do I go about approaching it? And that puts an entire mental dynamic in on the game
Yeah.
that lower level stuff isn't going to care about,
Mhm.
but upper level stuff gives you an edge, right?
Yes.
Everybody wants to get all analytical and all the stuff. So it's like, if you remove that from the game and we're pitching into a garbage can, basically, and, it's just like that, I don't know. It doesn't mean that it's going to be worse off. Maybe. I
Mhm.
don't know. I just think that there's some bias that is weird, and I do think that's kind of principle too, right? Like umpires are supposed to be unbiased.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to care what's going on, but I also think with the way the world moves now with sports betting and all of that stuff, I mean, we've got scandals being overturned and looked at every day of people putting money on stuff. That pitcher, whatever the hell his name was, the guy who would always throw a ball the first time. I don't remember that guy.
For $5,000.
Wasn't he the Cleveland? Was he play with
I
Cleveland?
forget who he was. I know
I'm
who
not
you're
sure
talking about.
Yeah.
But he
There's-
basically lost $51 million for a $5,000 deal.
Well, he would just first pitch strike. He would somebody would bet it, and he would just spike the ball every time. Like first pitch, he would just spike it, and then he'd just go back pitching. And then he had somebody in his camp down the road putting a bet every single time on that, which I don't know his name or who it was, but so stuff like that, like
Sean, where are you?
Yeah,
Sean, where are you?
Sean would know it 100%. Where's his comment at?
Yeah. Who knows?
But stuff like that, I think is that in my brain is why MLB is leaning more towards that, because they want to try to eliminate fault for people and streamline that process. Do I think it's better for the game? I don't know. I mean, it can go a lot of different directions. I think at the end of the day, I think for you guys as pitchers, that would suck.
Yeah,
because you don't get to earn rapport with the guy, and there's a piece of that happens. Like in the same thing for catchers, like catchers earn rapport with the umpire.
Yep.
And there's essence of the game, but I don't know.
Speaking of catchers, so my nephew is 11.
Mhm.
Okay, loves being a catcher.
Yeah.
And for those little guys out there, how important is that pitcher and catcher relationship to you? I mean, you probably cycle through a few. If some move up, down, whatever, everybody has their favorite catcher. I mean, in the MLB, you see certain guys have certain catchers and stuff like that. And how is that impactful for you? Is it planning? Is it just everything?
I think it's everything. I think it's hanging around in the clubhouse with them, building off-field relationships, not just even your catchers. I mean, it's with everybody.
Sure.
But I think with catchers as well, you got to have relationships with every single one of them. You have 2 to 3 on every single team. If you're a reliever, you could throw to one guy one night and another guy the other night. Starter, a little different. You kind of have sometimes a choice depending on when you throw and when the catcher's day off is and stuff like that. But I think going into a game and knowing that you trust your catcher and not having to shake all the time and stuff like that, I think that's huge because you don't have to worry about what you want to do. You trust the guy behind the plate. And I think that plays a huge part in development as well.
Taking the pressure off you.
Taking the pressure a little bit like that. But also knowing like, hey, I want to throw a fastball inside here. Then he calls fastball inside. It's like each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in your own unique, youth fandom, who was your team?
Cubs. I was a Chicago Cubs fan.
So with that being said, what does that, I guess, being a pro athlete, you get drafted by a team that isn't your, childhood favorite team or anything like that. What does that do what does that do? I mean, are you now just a fan of the Colorado Rockies, or are you still, rooting for your Cubs behind the scenes?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think more towards the Rockies now because I've played with guys who were up in the bigs.
Sure.
And you're rooting for them and you're rooting for the success there. And, I don't watch a lot of baseball. I don't watch a lot of Major League Baseball. We watch the Rockies, and that's really about it. Because we watch what they do and how everything's going on up there. And, we don't have a lot of time to watch Major League games, especially with scouting and everything and doing stuff like that. And when I watched a little bit of the World Series, but, I don't just sit down and I don't watch. Because when you play 132 games a year, it's kind of just like, let me sit down and let me do something else.
Baseball becomes a little white noise.
Can I melt into the couch, please?
Yeah. Seeing some greens and some fairways is more on the horizon after that.
Yeah,
absolutely. Tell us about your favorite course to play in Spokane.
They got to have a ton there.
It's got to be amazing.
Qualchan is mine. It's called Qualchan.
Okay.
It's kind of in the forest a little bit. So you got to be able to hit it straight.
Well,
Yeah.
Some days.
Some days, yeah.
What?
Qualchan. Qual, I think is how you start it. And then
okay, I got you.
Yeah. So I played that one. I played one outside in the valley too. I can't remember the name of it.
Boy, that's gorgeous.
It's nice. It's very nice. Yeah. Played that one a couple times with my dad when he comes out. My dad's a huge golfer.
That's
so
awesome.
he has played more courses there than I've played.
Yeah.
Just because
he's got more downtime.
Yeah, he's got more downtime when they come up there. Yeah. He just play in the mornings before the game.
Heck yeah.
So
he's living the dream.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit. Talk about, obviously getting to bring your parents along in this journey, because they've been there since you've been, youth ball, but now them getting to come and watch games
Mhm.
across the country, getting to watch,
Yeah.
a literal their son, but a professional athlete on a day-to-day basis and do
Yeah.
that.
I'm thankful for it.
Yeah.
They're both teachers.
Oh,
So
wow, that's
when
awesome.
it comes to summertime, they try to make it out at least once or twice,
Yeah.
and they'll do like week-long trips.
Okay.
So they'll come for the week, they'll stay for the homestand and stuff like that. Um, my grandparents as well come too. And I was lucky enough to be with my fiance this past year as well in Spokane. She went to Gonzaga University, so she
Okay.
was there the entire year. Um, I think having a support system around you is huge. If you're having a bad day, you had a bad game, you get to go home to somebody or some people
Yep.
and just relax
Yep.
and talk about other stuff because they know it's a game and it's your job as well, and you're not always going to have your best stuff. So being able to do other stuff and not having to worry about it when you leave the field is huge.
Yeah. Well, and at the end of the day, deep down in their heart and soul, they don't care if you win or lose.
Exactly, yeah.
They care because they
Yeah,
care about you.
exactly.
But, when you
Yeah.
get to go home and they're not worried about it like a fan would be worried
Yeah.
about it. They're worried about it in the sense of how's your mental,
Mhm.
how do you feel,
Yeah.
that type of stuff. It's still that home
Yes,
feeling with
absolutely.
them at the end of the day, which
Yeah.
is when you make that jump into that level of sport, it's just it's a whole dynamic that happens there, and having them so close to you is
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
awesome,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that they get a love going back and telling all the kids all the stories, and
Yeah.
especially what like are they high school teachers?
So my dad's a high school government teacher,
Okay,
and then my mom is the 504 district coordinator.
gotcha.
So she taught 3rd grade for tons of years,
Yeah,
and then kind of wanted to get into the district side of it and kind of oversee some stuff. Yeah.
awesome. Well, shout out to mom and dad.
Yep.
So have you been to the stadium for the Rockies?
When I was young,
Okay.
I haven't been since. No.
When in that culture, do they have like some previous players, maybe Hall of Famers that come talk to you guys?
They do.
So who's talked to you?
Todd Helton has.
I was there for his
Yeah.
Todd Helton night at the ballpark.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw 5 bombs in the first 3
Clint
innings.
Hurdle talks to us a lot.
Nice.
Just because he was the manager there for a long time. He's a great guy. You can sit down and talk to him for hours. Really great baseball mind. Knows a lot of stuff. A lot of Hall of Fame, not Hall of Fame pitchers, but guys who have been in the org, and they just come and they talk. It's nice to hear like what their story was as well, and how they came up throughout the system and the pros as well. Yeah.
Who's your
Nice.
favorite Rocky?
I don't really. I mean,
Don't have one.
yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Tula whiskey.
so what's kind of fun and pretty cool is that you're playing for purple,
hmm
and you started with purple.
Started with purple. Yeah.
and
It's pretty cool. And then my grandparents on my dad's side, my G's favorite color is purple.
Oh, nice.
And then on my mom's side, my Grammy passed away. Her favorite color was purple.
Oh wow,
So it's kind of all done it a little bit. So it's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
a full circle
Full
kind of
circle
moment.
kind of
yeah.
moment. Yeah. So it's crazy to think about just when you look back and it's like, well, this was their favorite color. This was their favorite color. I went to Butler, played for the Curve.
Yeah.
Purple,
So,
purple. All
yeah.
these purples.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
wild.
that's where that's kind of where I was relating it to.
Yeah.
Started in purple with the Curve, purple at Butler.
Yeah.
Now we're purple
Yep.
within the Rockies organization. I mean, that's super cool.
That's probably
So
where I screwed up. I just kept switching team colors. Dang it.
he likes green and gold
Okay.
or yellow, whatever
Okay.
you want to call
I
it,
do
mustard,
Yeah.
cheese. So more on the developmental side, because I'm very interested in the system that they have. What do players ever go from high A to triple A? Like what's that jump? Could you get the call to the show?
The biggest jump, I think, if you skip a level, it would usually be from double A to the pros,
Okay.
especially if
It's
somebody's
probably the most
young.
common.
That's the most common one. I think guys who get drafted, depending on where they get drafted, could skip the complex league, could skip low A, depending on their age, how many years they played college and stuff like that. Usually you don't see low A to double. You don't see high to triple. But you do see jumps at times. But a lot of it, like you said, it's double A to the show.
Okay. And then what's your program having you progressing like? Do you I mean, obviously you got to stay in love with the game.
Yeah.
You got to do all the things
Mhm.
on and off the field.
Yeah.
Um, where do you see yourself in next year, midseason, or like where does your plan have you going?
Realistically, like I want to be somewhere. I want to be double A, but I try to be where my feet are and kind of just take it
Love that.
day by day, and just not trying to worry about 6 months ahead. Because I think once you start thinking about that, you kind of get ahead of yourself, and you're like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do this to get there, instead of being where your feet are and just taking it day by day, doing your job every single day and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
That'll be a good one. That's a
Yeah.
really good
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
So on your day-to-day stuff, right? So if we got a high school kid listening to this, what are you doing currently? Like obviously you're in an off season right now.
Yeah.
But what's kind of your, regimen somewhat look like? You don't have to get too into the weeds,
Yeah.
but what can a player expect? And or if there's high school kids that are out there that might be
Mhm.
listening to this, what would you tell them as far as like some advice of saying like, hey, if you're trying to play, just make the jump, whatever that jump might
Yeah.
be for you. What's some advice for those guys, and in comparison to what you're doing currently?
I think the weight room plays a big part. I mean, you don't have to go in and lift heavy every day.
Right.
I mean, like today, I have a mobility day with throwing. I threw light touch and feel flat ground yesterday. Now today, I'll come in, I'll do mobility and do a little bit of throwing. And I think it's just like I'm in the weight room 5 days a week. You lift 4 times, you do your mobility on the Wednesday, and throw 6 times a week. On the Saturday, it's kind of like you come in, that's your bullpen day. So you're gonna get a little extra, get active a little more, and Sunday's kind of like your relaxed day. You don't have to do anything. If you want to go in, you can go in, but you don't have to throw.
Right.
Throwing 7 days a week is once spring training hits, because you're there every single day. And then during the season, it's 6 days a week. So I kind of plan it out like that a little bit and try to plan out bullpens and everything like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool that you're keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Some athletes in today's world think the complexity of all of it. I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that, and keeping it simple and being at the level that you're at is pretty important.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it helps all of you.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah.
not just your physical abilities, your mental abilities, and
Yeah.
everything like that. And then, what do you do in your downtime other than golf?
I play a lot of NCAA college football. I play.
Who's your team?
I'm a Texas fan,
Mhm.
but I have a dynasty with Bach and Hoffman, who's another coach.
Okay.
I'm Michigan, and yeah, got a really good team though. Bach has beat me twice in the Natty though the past 2 years.
That
So
dude, man.
yeah,
Him on that and MLB The Show.
Yeah.
That's like his thing.
and then hang out with my parents and my fiance, and we kind of just hang out, watch shows, and do simple stuff. And then next week, my fiance and I, we moved to Nashville, so
Yeah.
she got a job there. So
Oh wow,
yeah, so that'll be a little interesting, and we're excited for that as well. So
that'd be cool.
yeah,
Where's her new job?
Goosehead Insurance. It's an insurance brokerage. Yeah,
Okay.
so she got that out of college. She's really looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, congrats to that. Nashville will be a fun
Yeah.
little spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. When do you go back, like reporting wise?
So first official day for minor league camp is March 1st.
Okay.
But I'm going February 13th.
Gotcha.
A couple of my other guys got a house, and we're gonna go a couple weeks early,
Get some
and
work
just
in,
get
get
some work
settled.
in. Yeah,
Nice.
Beat up on each other with video games.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
Get,
hit a
Get
couple golf
settled.
courses.
Mhm.
Yeah.
golf will be played. Yep.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
What so in your throwing regimen, kind of the same
Yeah.
topic there, like when you're throwing every day, how
Mhm.
much do you typically throw? Like what's what's a good happy medium? Like obviously I'm sure you push it a little more on certain days, because for kids that might listen to this, like what does that kind of look like?
I try to get to 90 feet every single day.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be heavy.
Yep.
Like on Mondays and Wednesdays, those are kind of like the lighter days because you've taken a day off before on the Monday, and then on the Tuesday you throw your pin or anything like that, and then Wednesday you could be a little sore and it's a little lighter day.
Yep.
I'll go out to 110, 120 here and there just to feel it out, not like pull downs or anything like
Right.
that. But I try to keep it simple as well. 50 to 60 throws, 50 to 70.
Yep.
Use my plyos a little bit before just to get my arm loose, and then straight into throwing instead of having to start at 5 feet and work out, I can start at 20 to 30.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. What's your velo typically sitting around right now?
You know, a lot of times during this time, it's 88 to 90.
Yep.
And then I can't get up for bullpens with not a player in there. And inside, it's kind of hard for me as well. I think adrenaline plays a major factor when I throw, and it'll shoot up a little bit.
Nice.
So I try not to look at numbers in the offseason as much, like velo-wise. I'll look at horizontal, vertical, spin rate, and all that type of stuff. And if that's what I want and where it's at, I'm fine with that.
Spot.
Yeah.
Well, you threw at WSU on the track, man.
Yeah, I did.
What, last weekend?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah,
So Saturday.
Yeah.
How'd that look for you?
It was good. I was content with it. Still stuff to build on. Got a couple weeks, about a month and a half before spring training. I want to throw strikes right now and just be in the zone with all three of my pitches, and I was fine with that.
You want to throw strikes?
Yeah.
What?
Oh my goodness, dude! It drives me crazy.
Here we go.
No, I'm not getting back into it.
Okay, give us a little bit.
Pitchers just need to learn how to pitch. Like that's it. Like be a pitcher. Be a pitcher. Throw some strikes. You know what I mean? I don't understand it. I don't understand why we've gotten so hard up about how hard you throw. I don't care how hard you throw if you don't throw strikes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Throw strikes. Throw all your pitches for strikes and be able to miss pitches accordingly. Like learn how to pitch.
There's good misses.
100%.
Yeah.
Good misses are almost better than strikes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you really think about it, I mean, dude, the nastiest pitch that I've ever faced in my entire life is a freaking changeup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you can throw a changeup the right way,
that's
you'll
like
get dudes out.
That's like your bread and butter, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my favorite pitch. It's my changeup.
It's the hardest pitch to hit.
Yeah.
Everybody can see spin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even good sliders, good curve. I mean, like you can see spin and you can adjust and get a bat on it.
Yeah.
Changeups are invisible. Like they should be illegal.
Best pitch over here. Guess you're getting rung up, buddy.
I can rant about that all day long. It
good.
Drives me crazy. But
well, so we always end on an opportunity for you to do some shout outs and tell like what's your message to the youth, man? Because you've gone through all of it. You come from a small town. What's your message to the youth that you can put out there and make an influence?
I think just being consistent, wanting to be there every single day and doing it. I think obviously when you're young, you love to have fun and stuff like that. And I didn't in school as well. But I think looking back, I think I'd hit the weight room a little harder. I'd be more consistent in the weight room. I'd care a little more than what I did at that point in high school. And like, I can admit that myself, that I wasn't as bought in as other guys. And once I got to college, I was bought in.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm thankful for, is to have a supporting cast as well to push me every single day still. So, hey, are you throwing today? You working out today? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I got a follow up to that question. If you had to answer it, why are you a pro athlete?
I think it's because I love the game and I love being around guys who also love the game. I grew up playing it, and I don't look at it as a job. I look at it as, hey, I get to go to the baseball field today and I get to play. And that's what I look at it as.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. That's awesome. Well, biggest pieces are you hit them on the head. Like the consistency is the big piece. Having the love for the game is the big piece. Like, so you seem super grounded in the approach that you have to what you do. So, we wish you nothing but the best. Obviously, we'll be following you and staying on top of what's going on. And we appreciate your time as well, too.
Yeah, thank you guys for having
while you're
me.
here in town.
Ooh, on a short note, we talked to Portalite yesterday, and they were looking at mounds, and he pointed right at the portable one and said, "That's the best one here." Just want to give them a shout out. Like we've kind of been talking about going to ABCA.
Yeah.
And we leave tomorrow morning,
Nice.
and we get to go see them. And they're our title partner for the SBS.
Nice.
So little shout out.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
What's your
here.
favorite place that you played? I didn't ask that earlier. I need to ask that.
Wait, it cannot be in Spokane.
No. Spokane is, the community there is unbelievable. I mean, they do a lot of stuff promotional wise to get people to go to games. I would say Vancouver, Canada.
Really?
British Columbia. Yeah. I mean, they sell out almost every night.
Yeah.
I mean, those people up there love baseball.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the only minor league affiliate that is in Canada.
Oh.
So we would travel up there, and It's fun to play there during the season.
Are
but
they with the
They're
Blue
with the
Jays?
Blue Jays.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that makes
So,
sense, but
But when we played there in the playoffs last year, it was unbelievable.
just electric.
It was fun.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely amazing.
And asking all of these questions, what are your teams like alter egos?
Oh, do you guys do all those? Does every team do that?
The
Yeah,
minor league system is known for alter egos,
Yeah.
up to 4.
I'm trying to remember the names. We did a lot of promotional ones. We did a King Carl one, which is a guy who was a boxer from Spokane. The Cafecitos is what ours was. It's a local like coffee shop in Spokane, and our jerseys were yellow and orange with like a cup of coffee, with
Oh.
a hat with a cup of coffee. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm trying to think.
That would be their food identity.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
trying to think.
What was ours again? The chili buns?
The chili buns
Oh,
is
nice.
what the
Yeah.
Wind Surge have.
Okay, I'm trying to think of the other ones. Kind of blanking on them.
Oh,
Caught them
I
off
don't-
guard. You
yeah.
know, like
I don't pay attention
there's so many
to those
there's
either.
so many questions and all that good stuff. and
Yeah.
always never enough time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we always close out our podcast with a prayer.
Awesome.
And Sheldon,
Yeah.
you want to jump on that one and
I definitely can.
all right.
Awesome, man. Well, Heavenly Father, as always, just want to say thank you for another day. Thank you for opening our eyes and allowing us to come in here and have a great conversation with Braxton and talk about him, and just ask that you bless his family and bless him and along in his journey as he continues to play ball at a high level and continues to go after his dreams. Please watch over everybody that's traveling. Sean's still not with us in the building, so watch over them as they're getting ready to head back into town. And always just continue to help us motivate and continue to try to help people around us. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Well, that's it for episode 52. Braxton Hyde. He is a pitcher in the Colorado Rockies organization, moving through the ranks, and we wish him nothing but the best. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we'll catch everybody next time. Thanks for stopping by.